European one is coming by on Friday also, so they're coming by at the same time. And it does look like we're gonna have clear skies, which is good and bad. It's good because maybe we'll get a clear satellite shot and see what's actually the lake, take a snapshot of the entire lake. And I will post it and I'll put it in that folder. And usually Jackie grabs it, she'll blog, and put it on Facebook or something like that so people know what's going on. But we'll see what it looks like on Friday. So good for clear skies, but bad, because I definitely noticed the pattern is if it's calm, there's no wind, and it's warm, and in clear skies, that's when things explode, like July 2nd, is a calm, clear day. And it's definitely seems to be affected by the wind. And so I also have on here, and it seems like the winds are gonna be a little brisk on Friday. And so I have a link to this, I don't know if you guys know this Windy website, it's pretty cool. But this just takes you there and does the work for you, so you don't have to go to Lake Okeechobee and it snaps it out for you. And so that's the wind on Lake Okeechobee right now.
Right now, real time.
Yeah, real time. So it's blowing that way, and you'll see that the algae tends to blow to the side of the lake where the wind's blowing. And so you can forward it. This is great for boaters. That's what I look at for a lot of fishing. So it's not changing a whole lot. When I was looking at this the other night, it looked like the wind they had like a 13 knot wind predicted for Friday, but it doesn't. Oops. It usually will pop up a little wind. There it is, 12 knots. So that's on there too. So it's just all these pages right here. I want to make sure I get a chance to go over the data pages too. How am I doing on time?
Okay. Real quick, yeah. Mm-hmm. Show the other live data.
Yeah, exactly, the data stuff. All right. Yeah, and then we'll go back. These are chlorophyll. Let me talk about data, and don't let me forget to talk about chlorophyll. I'll not go on tonight and look at it. That's a whole other set of stuff. But that has more to do with the red tide stuff, and I don't think we have all the answers on that, so that's why I posted it. Let everybody look at it, and so you guys can figure out what the answers are. So the other big thing was data, and I really started by posting these data sheets because people would ask, there's people out there that know this stuff. Mark, Gary, go for it. They know how to pull these numbers from databases and analyze them and stuff. But being the database hacker person I am, these are just spreadsheets. This is Microsoft Excel. And so you can do so the South Florida Water Management District has a database called DB Hydro, and all these things are public. And the U.S. Geological Survey also has all their stuff, the salinity stuff at the bridge, all that's online. If you know how to tap into it, you can take it and do whatever you want to with it. So this is just an Excel spreadsheet. When I have my smoothie in the morning, I just go upload, and that's it. And so you can see I uploaded this at 7:14 this morning. And so all it does is all the data is behind here. And so it just does, I'm just doing a spreadsheet to sum it up. So what it's doing is it's querying this year's discharges. And my sheets from prior years are up there, so if you want to go back and look at 2018 and 16, you can see how nasty it is. But here's the total right here. So we've got 10 billion gallons, because that's how I think, as a lawyer and not a scientist. Gallons, because when we hear things where it's in cubic feet, what the heck is cubic feet? So let's just do all the conversions. So that's 1.4 billion cubic feet, which is 10 billion gallons, and let's do the math for us so I don't have to figure out if that's a billion or a million. And how many acre feet is that? How many inches is that in Stuart, Florida? You see in the newspaper and they're saying, oh, it covers the city of Stuart over whatever. 164 inches. 13 feet, that's enough. We haven't had much discharge this year. That's enough already to put us under 13 feet of water. And it's only taken 0.8 inches off the lake. That shows you how big the lake is compared to Stuart, Florida. And to back it up, I have my citations right here. If you want to see what I mean by Stuart Peninsula, that's what I'm talking about. That's a Google Earth map where I did I'm basically talking about the Stuart Peninsula north of Monterey Road. That's 3 miles. You do the math, and you can figure out how deep the water would be.
Go to the one back, back on the page.
Right here?
No, back the other way. Keep going back.
Yeah.
On your side.
Yeah, so you want to go back up a level. So you can go back and look at all the other years. This kind of graphs it out. And a lot of these are, Jackie sees this, so I compared it to the lost summer. That's the lost summer right there, the green. That's us right now. So, it's not even close. But then Jackie's like, can you show me all the years? And so that's when you see these other things, and I'll say, sure. Well, so I think that's where Mark's going with it, right, Mark? Go back. What do you want to see?
No, back to the data, again, the live data.
This one?
Yeah. And then.
All the other data stuff that's in here.
Top right is the discharge data live.
Yeah, all these are actually live pages. Every single one of these is pulling some kind of live data off of somebody else's website. So let me cruise down really quick. This one's for your iPhone. Everyone take this one on your iPhone and bookmark it. This is coming live from the Army Corps of Engineers. It's showing that S80 is at 0. S80 is stainless steel blocks. But it shows that S77, which is Moorhaven, is up to 1,140 cubic feet per second. What the heck does that mean? I'll show you a page where you can type in that number and I'll tell you what that means. And you can click on those and it'll pull up other graphs and things. This is the daily status map from the Army Corps of Engineers. So this is one, I think this is one they use on their calls and stuff. And so I like to look at this too. Talking about just giving people real data and making sure that there's not a lot of misinformation out there. I mean, I have a memory of sitting in a meeting a little like this. I have no idea where I was, but people were talking about the lake, and some guy sitting next to me, I don't know who it was kind of, saying, all the water comes from the north. And the water's coming from the north. And it was at a time when you could see, like, I don't know, what would the number be, Mark? Like 6,000 cubic feet per second coming out of Lake Kissimmee, and like 2,000 going our way and 3,000 going that way. And I fired this up on my phone, because you can fire it up on your phone, and I went, doop, doop, and I pulled this up, and I said, yeah, but what kind of gets me is this down here. And these were 0, 0, 0. You see that everything's shut off down south because they're already inundated with water down there because they've been holding the water, and it can't go south. And this is just the facts. This is all hyperlinked too, but so when you hear people talk about, the lake is at 11.2 feet today. That's where it's coming from right there. It's at 11.2 feet. It was at 11.21 yesterday. That's the report. These links bring up, like if you click on this, it'll bring up the graph that you see at a lot of the, hopefully it'll come up. Yeah, there it is. So this is that schedule graph that they use. And here's like the low line is the water, what do they call it, the water shortage management line. So you can see where we were getting awfully close to it right there when they were still letting water out as we were getting no rain. It was like, man, are we gonna drain the lake down completely? And I was like, no, it's gonna rain. This is what it does every year. Sure enough, we bump back up. And so there's tons of links inside there. That's all coming from the Army Corps of Engineers. Whoops, went too far. Go through a couple of these real quick. So somebody like this is the South Florida Water Management District's new one that shows the live stuff coming off of their structures. So when S80 is open, you'll see the water coming. You see the flow rates right there. Graphs. Like you want to look at the lake level. Here's the one month stage graph, so you can kind of see where we did bottom out around May 2nd, and it started coming back up, and then we're starting to come down again. It's all right there for everybody to see. That's just a query, so it's just pulling that off of the DB hydro. But because it's like salinity for the bridge, essentially when the gates go up, you'll see that salinity drop way down the Roosevelt Bridge. This is more of the sources. These are detailed pages, but this is where it's all coming from. USGS, DB Hydro. This is a cool page when you're trying to figure out what all these structures are. And these are on the South Florida Water Management District's website. I'm just making a link straight to them because I can't find them sometimes. But this pulls up a cool GIS map of all of their structures. And so it's like, what is S79? Where is it? Or what's the, looks like they're down. Nice, thanks.
Imagine that.
That's a pretty cool. It's not my site, it's their site.
Just
That-
right when they're up.
Yeah, but you can kind of see the screenshot I took of it here. It's like a Google Earth page that has like thousands, like every single structure is on there. You can zoom in on Google Earth, you can click on a structure, it pops open the page for the structure, and then you can go to the DB Hydro page and download data or look at what's coming out of that structure. This is the USGS Water Watch, which is similar. And this is where, like, I was having a conversation with Gary Goforth, and people will say, okay, water, the discharges are one thing, but the real issue is the suspended solids. The real issue is the dirtiness of the water. It's not so much that we're getting these volumes of water, which a lot of this stuff is, but it's what's in it that's bad. And yes, there's ways we can start pulling those kind of numbers too. But with all this information, there's really no reason why we don't have some kind of GIS page where we have all the water basins, because I have these, like you get these maps that have all the water basins in them and stuff, and you can have a computer go get the dirtiness of the water coming out of that basin and put up a huge color map. I mean, this is showing point data, you know, so like there's S80 right there, nothing coming out of it. But you know, these are just points of data. But I would love to see like a big map, because when people are saying, "Oh, the water's dirty coming out," you know, you'd see it. You just see it. You know, show it visually instead of all this, you know, just number stuff. It doesn't really make sense to most people. So I think that's a good enough there, unless there's something somebody wants to see.
Can you show the calculator?
Yeah. So like when we're talking, I'm working my way this way. So a lot of these they come out of conversations with Jackie when we're trying to put things into gallon terms or Stuart terms or whatever. And that's, I guess, where I don't have a keyboard. So right now, S77 is, and so this pulls a little data just as a cheat sheet for you off. This is that same page for the iPhone, and so it's pulling that iPhone page just so we have the data. This is live. S77 is at 1140 CFS. So if you can for me, type 1140 in that box up there. And this is just a calculator. So click on calculate, and it'll work. There you go. So it basically says 1140 cubic feet per second equals 8,527 gallons per second, which would be 736 per day. Olympic size swimming pools, acre feet, and that would put us under 11 feet of water for the city of Stuart. And if you don't believe me, click on the 2 links and it'll show you how I get, you know,
That's so awesome.
I'm not making up, but this has been up.
Awesome.
This has been up there for years, and this is what people. I hope the newspaper uses it. Whatever, you know, use it. And so, you know, how big's an Olympic size swimming pool? I don't know, but Wikipedia says it's so many cubic feet. So that's one calculator. This one was the other day when Jackie was doing the blog, and you know, she was talking about all these other counties. So I just kept adding stuff to it. And so same thing. We were talking about 100,000 acre feet of water. Oh, we'll see these graphs in a second. We're in the 1960s. 3 million acre feet of water came out of S80. 3 million, and it's like, what is 3 million acre feet? You know, it doesn't really mean anything to me. Type 3 million in there.
3.
Oh yeah, don't put commas in, by the way.
Oh, no comma, okay, all right,
I go just
okay.
put 6 zeros on it.
4, 5, 6.
There you go. And so 3 million equals, and it puts the commas on for you just to make sure we did it right. So it puts it all into, you know, 977 billion gallons. You know, that would put that would put the entire state of Florida under an inch of water. That would put Martin County under 8 feet of water. That would put the city of Stuart under 1,200 feet of water. That's like the Empire State Building of water. Just so I mean, it's just to help you kind of really put these things into numbers that make sense other than cubic feet per second. So we'll add some more on there. If anybody wants anything, let me know. We'll keep adding to it. So when we're talking about it, so here's some of these historic graphs. And Jackie's like, "Well, Todd, can you show me all the years?" It's like, "All right, sure. We'll add another page onto it and just tell the spreadsheet to graph it out." So I think if anyone saw our blog, you might have saw this. You know, this was interesting to look at because we see a lot of things that put all the discharges by the year, and it's just the year, the total. But this is kind of interesting because it kind of shows you how the years went, and maybe it means something. You know, so you see 2016, which was just a disaster. You know, like we started in January, and we were already like where we were. Bam. You know, 2017, we were having a record low year. We hit September, kind of like we are now. You know, we're pretty low right now. And then it wasn't until September that it shot up, and that's when I was like, was that Hurricane Matthew? I can't remember. It was Hurricane Irma. Hurricane Irma hit us, and off it went. And so, yeah, just kind of, again, puts it in perspective by decade. So you can scroll through this, this is just a scrapbook program, by the way. You can just throw through like a scrapbook by decade, so it's did by decade.
Todd, is that through the St. Lucie lock, or is that total?
That's just S80, that's just here at the locks. Yeah.
How far does it go back, data-wise?
Well, then that's the interesting thing that I have to like figure out with this stuff, because we have these different databases, and it's like that's where you learn about the different government agencies that actually are measuring the data. And some of the stuff the South Florida Water Management District actually gets from the USGS. You know, it's like their instruments, but they add it to DB Hydro, and there's gaps in the data, so it's tough. So like, let's look at it right here. Here's your question, here's your answer. This is the exact same data every single year. So this one goes from 1953 to 2019. I got the key up there. So see where it says JW224 for the Gary Goforths out there? That's the database key at DB Hydro that has all this data in it. It's just one key of thousands that they have. But that's the one instrument that has been measuring the flow at S80. And because the question was, how bad is this historically? I mean, a lot of times we were like, it's never been this bad, but maybe it has been this bad. Has it been this dirty? I don't know. But you can see right there, 1960, there's your 3 million acre feet. That's acre feet. Yes?
Tom, have you started a page for phosphorus?
Well, that's what we're talking about, water quality stuff. And see, someone has to teach me how to do the measurements and stuff. I'll put the spreadsheet together or whatever. But yeah, it's not as easy as of a calculation, because the way it collects the data as far as you have to know the flow rate. But yeah, I mean, but
Hydro has a DD for that.
they do they?
Yeah.
I mean, they have all sorts of water quality. So if you want to really dig into it, one is that map that I showed you, but the other one is right here. So going back. Go up a level here. Back up to the top. It's not.
1960 was Hurricane Donna.
There we go. Yeah, there was four storms. Put it on Jackie's blog. You were asking about the other data points, and they are right here, the historical stuff. I thought, where is it? Where's my page here? I guess it's under the live stuff. You go to live discharge data. Right here, we just see the USGS. I mean, that's all their stuff. So this right here, this Lake Okeechobee and related basins, because the first step is just to find what they call the DB key. And there's like millions of them, and it's like just finding it. So this I saved one, and once I finally got a list of just the stuff for Lake Okeechobee, I'm like, okay, save, post, and then I can use it, you can use it, anybody can use it. But this is what it looks like, when you're looking in the database. So this is all the database keys for the area around Lake Okeechobee. And so we're not on my computer, but it's funny, like when I'm on my computer, it's in purple, because I've been there. But you probably saw that JW, like I think this JW224, like that's that one. You click there, and then I'm not going to go into it now, but I can show you later. Like you click it, you say I want a graph, you give date range, and it'll throw up one of those graphs.
County column, so that's a nice.
Well, it's telling you, it's telling you where it is. But like if we wanted to look at this database key, this is what my thing is doing for it. You click on that, you say I want to get the data, it pulls this up, and I say, okay, I want to look at the last year, and I want to look at a chart. And go. And so that's all my thing's doing for you. I don't know what that is, but that's how you use it. Something. But when you know what the key is you're looking at, that's how you can say, okay, I want to see the. So I have the back pumping on it. You're like, the back pumping. Okay, you go grab those 3 keys and pull them up on the chart, and you can see what's going on, and then you can save it right back pumping. So you'll see the graph is the same. So, you see some back pumping going on, and it says SP4, which is the pump 4, which is at Clewiston. Is that right? S4. So there was 400 cubic feet per second coming out in June 2018, because that's a 1-year graph, so that's within the last year. So really quickly, if I'm not running out of time, I think we did the calculators, we did the historic stuff. We did the live thing. We talked about the measurements. So there's other measurements of other higher res stuff, but like when we had other algae blooms, that's when it's like, there's no algae out there. It's like, I don't know, I've got a line that says there's 59 square miles of something out there. Take a look at it and tell me what you think. Yeah. So these are some of the historical measurements we did when we were looking at some of the blooms. But I may do one of these on Friday when that satellite goes over and we get a high-res image and see what kind of blooms out there. There's some movies on here because I dig into these things trying to find more information for you guys, and it's like, wow, this stuff could go. When I found that 1979 image, it was because I was thumbing through like thousands of pictures of Lake Okeechobee going all the way back to the 70s. And some of these websites, you dig into them, you can like say, make me a movie. And it kind of made the movie for me, so I'm like, okay, I'll save it, and I'll put it on YouTube, and then I'll put it on my website and send it to Jackie or anybody else who wants to see it. But you can go on here, this plays a movie, of every single Landsat image that they have. And you'll see it, it's clean, but you'll see 1979 pop by, and there's a bloom in there. And then the one that ends in 2018, you see blooms at the end of it. Mark, this movie's never been seen. This is the one I actually sent you that day. We're like, no, we're not gonna do a movie, we're just gonna do an image and you just need a press release. But this is the same picture, just in Google Earth. So this is the Google, I have another site that has maps on it, but this is, showing you there's the canal, and there's that image with the algae bloom on it.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome.
If you guys don't know what that is, that's the FPL plan out there.
Cooling
I've-
pond for, Indian.
I've got a movie on that one. It failed in 1979 and let a lot of water out, flooded all the fields out there. Let's see, did I get myself where I can't get out with my mouse here? I think I'm good.
So Todd does other fly-throughs like that on historical data.
Yes, he does.
On your other websites, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, if you're looking for this Iron Lake Oaks, it's hard to find. Go to my law firm website, there's a bio page on there for attorneys. Go to Todd Turlow. I finally put it on my bio page, all the way at the bottom. There's like 3 links, one to Lake O. The other one's maps.thefurloughs.com, and it just takes you to a YouTube playlist that has a bunch of these historical map videos that are like that Lake Oaks video, but they're like cool old maps of the 1800s of the St. Lucie River and how it looked before there were any spoil islands, because those spoil islands weren't there back in the 1800s. And interesting stuff like that. And the inlet wasn't there in the 1800s. The inlet was at Gilbert's Bar, and I could go all over talking on that someday. So real quick on this chlorophyll, this year was the year of the red tides, and I don't know if we know what is causing these things. It's another one of those things. There's Spanish stories in the 1840s of the Indians telling the Spanish when they got here of these blooms that killed fish. So they've happened before. And they've been happening for a long time, but are they getting worse? And it's something that we're doing, making it worse. And, so I'm just going on, this is that same Terra satellite, just looking at different stuff. And so this would be, so this is another one of the ones that I hit a button in the morning and it grabs the picture for the prior day and posts it. And this looks good, but it's interesting to see when the locks are open, you'll see plumes coming off of the St. Lucie Inlet. So I've got the Martin County one too. And you can scroll down through here and see when the red tides are out there. I'm not going to have time to really go through it. But it's interesting because my understanding is these tides develop 10 to 40 miles offshore in deep nutrient poor water, and then they get pushed ashore maybe in an upwelling, and then maybe they're feeding on organic matter. They're able to start feeding on the phosphorus, nitrogen, whatever. But you'll see some of these other images, and you'll see like these red things out here off the southwest coast. And is that common? Is that somehow being fed by the Caloosahatchee? I don't think anybody knows, but we got to figure it out. But looking at Martin County, these are posted daily. So right now, that was that icon's just an image from a bad day. But like this is yesterday. Say 21st? No, 20. That's 2 days ago. So this is 2 days ago, and then what I do is I'm already pulling the discharge data out, so I just have my computer just put the discharge data for the day on the bottom there for you, so there's no discharges that day. But scroll back a couple of years, and you'll see interesting patterns. And then cool stuff like if you're a fisherman and you like eddies and currents and rips and stuff like that with the dolphin are, there's some cool looking stuff on these pictures. But if you go back, we did have some discharges not too long ago, I was thinking I could scroll back. But let me see here. But you can see how it gets nasty. And this is chlorophyll. This is not that first one I showed you from the HAB people. That's a cyanobacteria index. That's looking for cyanobacteria. This is just looking for chlorophyll and levels of chlorophyll. So chlorophyll doesn't necessarily mean cyanobacteria, but it just means there's organic matter in the water. And what's cool too is this just shows you. So here you see, I can read right there 484 cubic feet per second, and there's Ed flying over taking a picture of the plume off the inlet. There's a plume right there. And so But it also, like Mark will talk about how we live in such a biodiverse place in the world, and it's, this is the Gulf Stream. That's why it's so nice and clear and blue out here. And we live in this very unique area where the Gulf Stream's starting to peel offshore, so you've got this different kind of water close to shore. You got the nice blue, deep Gulf Stream water offshore, and there's more variety of animals and fish out there in our area than anywhere in the world. And so we live in a unique place, but it shows right there on the satellite imagery because you can see the organic stuff. So, yes, there is a good question. And let's see, this is not the one they changed. No, I'm sorry, I don't think I have the legend on this one, but I do have the link to the site in that description up top. It'll take you to the site and they have their legend in there. The HAB site, look at this. We had 1.7 billion gallons at that time. And I don't know if this is the inlet or the discharge is coming out of the inlet, or if it's just, it's the middle of the summer. The summer's different than, the water's different in summer. This was September 15th of 2017. But you see these things peeling off offshore, that makes me wonder. You'll see big eddies come out sometimes and circle this stuff around. So I think that would probably be it, unless anybody has any questions.
Hey Todd.
Yes.
You showed the one about backfilling. Was that from a municipality or was that?
No, that's S4 pumps at the south end of Lake Joe. We're talking back into the, S2, S3,
Is that by whom? Is that by sugar or by municipality?
Yeah.
Well, it's the South Florida Water Management District that has control of that pump.
From the EAA.
I thought they did.
That's what they like. There's the rest of the long story on
For
that.
flood control, yeah. I think I kind of covered it all, so there's probably something else in there. The website one time right there at the top, ionlako.com, ionlako.com. If you want to see some other stuff in there's a lot of stuff I'm not showing, let me know. Yes, sir.
A few questions, then we gotta move on, but thanks, Todd.
Thank you for your info and your whole family's contribution to our community. Can you tell me how many gallons of milk my daughter's drinking?
Go right here. And you'll get it in cubic feet per second, inches of Stuart. I'll tell you everything. Yes, ma'am.
So, how far out to sea or up the coast does this stuff go before it disappears?
You're talking about like when there's these plumes offshore? I mean, it just kind of dissipates, and it really does. I mean, you can see it on some of these images how, and you'll see it on my brother-in-law's aerial photography, how like when it, our inlet kind of goes south. Naturally, that's I studied the history of inlets. All the inlets used to face south because the longshore current, I guess, coming down the coast kind of makes a turn. And so you see a lot of inlets like up in other towns, they all kind of face, and then we artificially want to just go straight out the inlet and blast a reef of dynamite, put some jetties in there, and you would wonder why they fill in with sand. So the current still kind of takes it south, so you'll see it come along the shore, go a couple miles south, but then the Gulf Stream kind of picks it up and it heads north. But there's other inlets up there too. And
So once it gets into the Gulf Stream, it sort of disappears?
I don't know if it kind of goes north. It kind of stays on the edge of the Gulf Stream. I mean, just as a fisherman, I'll be out there 3-4 miles and see
It
it.
doesn't go to Ireland like the Gulf Stream.
I'll just continually dilutes. Someone had a question over here.
Yeah, one or two more.
Where is Jackie's blog?
Jackie's blog is at JackieThurlowLippish.com. And if you just type Jackie Thurlow in Google, it'll give you a million hits.
On your brevets, now when the oil spill happened over there, the loop current maps were pretty doggone important to that.
Yeah.
That might be an interesting feature. If we have a live brevis bloom over there, you might include the loop currents and how the currents are actually moving through there.
Yeah, I mean, you're just talking about how it would show up on a map like this.
Yes.
And you see it, like you'll see, they're kind of like eddies, right? I mean, you can see it just because of the pattern. In some days, it's really cool. I mean, you'll see like two huge ones right off of Stuart. It's just the way the Gulf Stream just kind of meanders, and it's just a big river, and it'll get a big loop in it. And then I hope dolphin are out there, and I'll get my boat and right offshore.
Hey, give it up for Tom. website, click around on it and use it, and it's just really awesome data. And we're so thankful for Todd for pulling all that together, having all those calculations done, so you and I just have to click on it and get the information. So we're good, we're good. So I got a quick, is John gonna give a quick update for Martin County? He is. All right. Because Diane Hughes isn't here from Martin County, although she was recognized for an award, I think, just recently. Wasn't Diane recognized for an award? Give it up for Diane Hughes. This is John, but
Unfortunately, you get the B team tonight. And yes, Diane was recognized with a couple of honors that were well deserved in the last month. The first was she was nominated by the Marine Resources Council at their annual banquet for the Paul Kruger Award for Outstanding Service by a Government Employee. And the winner of that award was, of course, Dwayne DeFries. And being the class act that he is, he gave the award to Diane. It's now proudly displayed in our offices there in Martin County. And then also she was the recipient of the Keep Martin Beautiful Environmental Stewardship Award. And again, well deserved, and that's for her role with the Be Floridian Now program. And to that end, I want to point out that we had a couple of folks here that I know several of you have done this, but in our last Be Floridian Now class, we had John Muir. Did I say that right? Jim Muir. Sorry. And Commissioner Matheson joined that last class. And we got great feedback from our staff that they were great participants, asked wonderful questions, and we know that their participation only lends credibility to that program, which we would like to have all of the community join at some point or another. Todd, that's amazing. That is so cool what you showed us. It's really cool to work in an industry where citizens show so much interest. In my last gig in state parks, I don't believe anybody was mining data and creating animated videos about where we were putting picnic tables or how many toilets we were cleaning. Which brings me to another idea. Todd, where are you at? Maybe you could add one more metric to the conversion calculations that divides gallons by about 2.5 for how many toilet flushes that would be equal to. Sorry. So, update to the water. The lake is at a wonderful 11.2 feet. It went up a little bit the week before, but in the last week it's been starting to go back down. And as you can see, inflows are more or less equal to outflows. This is the chart we all love, and we look at every single morning. As was pointed out, this is where we're at. It started to go back up, but it's leveled off now. And it really looks like the Corps of Engineers has a dial tracking that lower band. But as we all know who work in this, that they're getting pretty lucky, and we're happy for them. I told Savannah on our last call that when it works like this, take credit for it.